Valve has revealed that they would have no issues whatsoever with Xbox Game Pass being added to the Steam service. Now, on the surface, this sounds like an amazing deal, but there are a few things that we should be considering. And I bet that's exactly why Xbox and Steam have not come to an agreement yet. I'll get into what that is in just a second. Let's get into it. Now, I'm sorry to keep you waiting about the news, but I have to do the subscription thing. So please subscribe, hit that bell, like this video if you like my content. It does help the channel, and I do appreciate it. Thank you so much to everybody who's subscribed this far. So the news basically is that Gabe Newell came out and said that they have no plans on doing their own subscription type service, but that they would be more than willing to work with somebody like Microsoft at bringing their service, Xbox Game Pass, to Steam and extrapolating that to the Steam Deck. Now, here's the quote. This is from an interview with PC Gamer. He said, "I don't think that it's something that we think we need to do ourselves, building a subscription service at this time," Newell said. "But for their customers, it's clearly a popular option, and we'd be more than happy to work with them to get that on Steam." So that sounds like a big win for Xbox, right? Well, actually, one article that I saw that pointed out one of the issues with Steam, and at one time in my life, I was a community manager for a publisher for a very brief period of time, and Steam takes a huge cut on any of your profits, about 30%. So Kotaku pointed out that, of course, one big obstacle to Game Pass coming to Steam proper is revenue sharing. Microsoft gets 100% of what subscribers pay when they use it through the Xbox launcher, while Valve traditionally takes a 30% cut of everything sold through Steam. As The Verge points out, so this is Kotaku quoting The Verge, who quotes PC Gamer anyway, and I'm quoting all of them. So anyway, as The Verge points out, this is likely why only the base tier of EA subscription service is on Steam, while EA Play Pro remains exclusive to its Origin launcher. So that quote was via Kotaku. And the thing is, Phil Spencer and Valve have been talking about this for some time, but I have to imagine that revenue sharing is going to be the bottleneck for this agreement going through. It seems like a no-brainer, right? Xbox Game Pass would balloon its subscriptions. Actually, during their announcement for the Activision acquisition, they also said, "We also announced today that Game Pass now has more than 25 million subscribers. As always, we look forward to continuing to add more value and more great games to Game Pass." So I'm really excited about the prospect as a user of Xbox Game Pass coming to a service like Steam. It seems like a wonderful partnership, but Valve just has no reason to budge on their pricing model in the industry. So I'm curious, what would that mean for the developers who would come to a service like Xbox Game Pass, right? Because their pocketbooks are likely going to get hit at the bottom of the day. Xbox has made it clear that they want to grow subscriptions and that they want to see more people on Xbox Game Pass, more people gaming. Paraphrasing the quote, they say that players play more, they spend more, they experience more genres, they get a great value with the service. But when you're dealing with another mega company like Valve Software that charges that 30%, how is that going to impact the overall offerings? That's the only thing that gives me pause about just saying, hey, this is a great deal. Why doesn't Microsoft just go for it? Because there are a few chinks in it. However, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. It does seem like Xbox and Valve are talking about this actively and have been talking about it for some time. This tweet about introducing Steam Deck, powerful portable PC gaming starting at $399. Designed by Valve, powered by Steam, shipping December 2021. Learn more at steamdeck.com and reserve yours tomorrow. Hashtag Steam Deck. Phil Spencer actually replied to this tweet saying, that looks really great. Congrats to the team at Valve Software on getting so many of us excited to be able to take our games with us wherever we decide to play. Now, full disclosure, one of my projects at IGN right now is actually working on the Steam Deck. I happen to have one right here in my hand right now. And I'll just say this, I was a doubter and I had a lot of challenges with the Steam Deck at first. Check out the review in progress over at IGN. Seth did an amazing job. I shot all the B-roll for that. I'm really, really proud of the work that I did over there. And my favorite thing to do is sit on the couch and like you can play God of War on here on the go. I got Grand Theft Auto working the other day. But the challenges that Linus Tech Tips and a few other people point out echo my sentiments about it, actually, in that it's a PC at the end of the day, right? So if you're okay with tinkering and poking and prodding, then yeah, you're going to be able to get this thing to work. Like it took me forever to get Final Fantasy even to function, and I had to roll a new character because, well, that was a Final Fantasy issue, right? To get Forza Horizon. So Forza Horizon actually runs on this and it runs quite well, but you're going to want to do some optimizations. And then Age of Empires also has some tweaks, but I'm kind of going off on a tangent about the Steam Deck itself. So I think the main issue about why this deal might not go through is largely because of that revenue sharing, right? The concern would have to be that where does the revenue go? Like who ends up getting that revenue at the end of the day? So that's what people are worried about, right? Here's the actual quote about what they said, what Gabe specifically said about Game Pass coming to the console. Well, it doesn't sound like there are any current plans in the works to put Game Pass on Steam. Both companies have spoken quite a bit about the topic. If your customers want it, then you should figure out how to make it happen, Newell told PC Gamer. That's where we are at. And referencing again, this tweet from Phil Spencer saying, that looks really great. Congrats to the team at Valve Software on getting so many of us excited to be able to take our games with us wherever we decide to play. Now, yeah, I love playing on the couch, playing Final Fantasy 14, grinding out a character as long as you have, your internet connection. Final Fantasy 14 does a great job of integrating controller support. So if you don't want to plug in a peripheral attachment to your Steam Deck, you can just play it on the go. And it is really, really cool. Now, the reason I think Xbox would be such a good partner, though, is because they have the Bethesda Softworks library now, which means all of the Elder Scrolls, which are also, something that PC gamers absolutely adore. Games like Age of Empires, which I have installed on here. There's just so many PC-centric titles, especially on PC Game Pass, which I realize has some problems, but it would be a great partnership if they can figure out the revenue thing. The revenue thing is the only thing that gives me pause, because I never want to see developers negatively impacted by a deal that isn't in their favor, so to speak, right? We saw what happened when Square Enix made a deal with Microsoft, and then People Can Fly are just like, hey, we never got paid for Outriders, and yet Square Enix is calling it one of their major successes near the launch window. I don't like seeing stuff like that happen in the industry, right? So anyway, that's my 2 cents on the whole situation. Really exciting. Let me know if you actually pre-ordered a Steam Deck, if you're thinking about getting one. I have a personal one also pre-ordered, and after getting to use it a little bit, I decided to keep that pre-order. So I like the review unit that we were sent enough that I'm like, yeah, this is worth it. It's going to have some growing pains because it runs on a Proton version of Linux, which means it's really boxed in. One mistake in the Kotaku article I want to point out, they say, oh, you can just dual boot Windows on it. You cannot actually, well, I mean, you can, but you can't do anything on Windows because the graphics drivers for the Steam Deck Windows dual boot process, they're not downloadable right now. So you can install Windows, sure, but you literally can't play any game on it. So that once that is overcome, all of these games with anti-cheat can be fixed and addressed in the near future. This video came out way more rambly than I expected, but realizing I have the Steam Deck right next to me, I'm able to have a few more points of reference to this story. And with my past experience having worked at a publisher and just seeing how much money that Steam actually gets, like you want to be on Steam, right? But they are eating away at your profits. So what you actually want is you want users going directly to your website and registering and then buying stuff through there, which is why I have to imagine Final Fantasy Fantasy 14 is so profitable. Most people who I know who play Final Fantasy 14 have purchased it directly through Square Enix, which means there's no middleman, right? Some people bought it on PlayStation 4 and then would later purchase it on PC. The fewest amount of signups I've seen have been through Steam. So if they're able to, there's just challenges, right, with PC gaming. And hopefully they can figure out that revenue sharing thing was the point of my inane rambling. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this story. Exciting stuff, but a few points of pause. I hope they can work it out and come to a deal that works for developers and everybody involved, right? Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you like my content, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. I do appreciate you watching very, very much. If you want to become a member, memberships are turned on. Thank you so much to all of these amazing members who have supported this channel for so very long, and even the new ones who supported also. I greatly appreciate you. If you would like to support, hit that join button right down there. I'm going to get out of here, but I'll see you for the next one. Have a wonderful day.